Hey, good morning, my friends. I got my bike out of the back of my truck last night and brought it back here. This bike is a 1973 Honda 350F, and the F stands for 4 cylinders. It does have a kickstart on it. It also has the battery, but who knows how old that battery is. But it turns over. Let me see. Yeah, could you hear that? So it's not frozen up. That's a real good thing. The owner of this bike is a friend of ours who just asked me if I would fix it up for him, and I said, yeah, sure, I'd love to. So I'm gonna do what I can to get this motorcycle running. The tag here, it's an antique, so I don't know if I should trust the date on it, because from what I understand, antique tags don't have to be, you can keep them forever. You don't have to keep putting new stickers on them. So it could have run a long time after this. But this says 1105, so that was 17 years ago, and so we know it was running 17 years ago, or we assume it was running 17 years ago because they put a tag on it, but we don't know how long after that it had been running. So we're estimating 9 or 10 years it hasn't run. There's a lot of rust on the chrome. I'm going to try to get that all cleaned up, make it look really good, but I also want it running. And I don't want to jinx myself by saying, of course I'm going to get it running, but I'm pretty sure that it won't be that big of a problem, just because the engine does turn over. It was running not too long ago, and I checked the oil. And it's got oil, and it doesn't really look too bad. And that's a good thing. But the tank, it's not as pretty as that oil. It took us a while to figure out how to actually open the gas cap. There's a little lever here, and it's really hard to push. Prying at this didn't work, but we figured it out. You have to push this down first, and then hold it down and press the little lever on the side, and then it opens up. Check out what's inside. That is quite a bit of rust in there. So with all that rust in there, I'm thinking the carburetors are gonna need a really good cleaning. And maybe not, but just because it's been sitting for so long, what I've seen in the past is a lot of varnish buildup and debris in there. Just usual stuff that happens with an older motorcycle. So we'll take off the carbs and clean them for sure. It's because it's 4-cylinder, it's 4 connecting carbs. And since the engine turns over, we're going to do our best not to have to open up the engine or mess with that. We'll just clean out the tank, clean out the carbs, and then see if we can get it running. Change the oil, of course, and go from there. Now, while I'm thinking about it, let's go ahead and check these spark plugs and see what they look like. Well, I can already see that this boot needs to be replaced. It's tore up there. Let's take it off here. Yep, look at that. It's like bent. Whew. Oh, look at that. That's not good. That just fell into a bunch of pieces. So definitely need to replace that. There we go. Well, that's stuck pretty tight. I don't want to break it. Okay, now that's been sitting a few minutes. Let's see if it's any easier to remove. Come on. Ah, there we go. I really didn't want to break it. There we go. Not too bad. Yeah, looks pretty good. That's a good sign. Put it back so no moisture gets in the engine. And I just really wanted to see what it looks like. I'm not ready to do that part of the restoration yet. First thing I'm gonna do is do the tank. Take the tank off, and we'll fill it full of the anti-rust solution. What was that called? Can't remember what it was called, but I know where I got it, so I'm gonna run up to the store, get a couple gallons of that, pour it in this tank, and won't fit on there, but pour it in that tank to get that rust cleaned out of there. And while the tank is off, go ahead and see if we can remove that carburetor, because those are the two items that I know definitely need to be cleaned. And so that's where I'm gonna start, is cleaning the tank, getting the rust out of it, and cleaning out the carbs. Those, in my opinion, are one of the first steps that need to be done on a restoration. I understand if the engine's not turning over, then who cares if the carbs are clean or not, if the engine's not gonna crank. But since it's turning over, the oil doesn't look bad, the plugs don't look bad, so my logical step would be fuel. That's what we'll be working on, and maybe once that's, maybe we'll get it cranked up right after that. So let me run up to the store and grab, I remember it was called Evapo Rust. So I'll go grab a couple gallons of that. We will take off this tank, fill it up, and let it sit. It's got to sit for like 24 hours to remove the rust. So while that's doing, we'll work on taking off the carburetors, see how they look, and go from there. So I'll be right back. And I'm back. Here's my rust remover. So let's get this tank off and cleaned up. tools. Look at this air filter. Looks like it's actually made into this housing, so hopefully it won't be too hard to find another one of those. Man, I'm so tempted to try to kickstart this thing, spray a little bit of ether or something in there, but that spark plug, I don't think it should run on only 3 cylinders. That might not be good for it, so I'll leave it alone for now. Nah, I can't help it. I want to try it. Turn it on. I know it's a neutral because we pushed it out here. I don't want to go and check and make sure it's a neutral because I'll end up putting it in gear, so I'm going to leave it like it is. And let's see. It's up on its jack, so hopefully won't go anywhere. Never mind. Let's stop wasting time and get this off right here. Yeah, so there's really nothing holding this down. The other one had a bolt in here, but this one I don't even see a place for a bolt to go. That Suzuki I had. So we should just be able to lift this off. Yep, easy as that. Just has these 2 bumpers right here, and that sits right on them. So totally simple. Yep, and that's all there is to it. It's just held on by the seat, and it just sits on those 2 bumpers. Listen to that rust. Dang. But thankfully it stopped raining and I get to use my new table for something. I'll end up scratching it all up, but it is a work table, so that's what it's for. So yeah, I dumped out a lot of rust, like a half a cup of rust came out of here or more. But I'm hoping that this fuel petcock will hold, but for now I'm gonna just leave this on and pour a little bit in and see if it leaks. The reason I like this stuff is because it's non-toxic, it's biodegradable. You don't have to worry about recycling it, putting it in a special chemical container. You could just dump it out, it's fine. It doesn't hurt the environment. Those are the main reasons I like it. Plus, it works good. So, I used it in my Suzuki GS450 and that tank came out looking like new. So hopefully it'll work the same with this one. It is about $25 a container, so I don't want to waste it. I don't see any dripping, so we'll just fill it up. And you can use this stuff over and over again. It'll change color, it'll be full of rust, but you can just pour it back in the bottle. Next project you have. The reason I don't have mine from my Hondas, from the Suzuki, is because I threw it away because I was moving, and so I wanted to have to pack and bring as few things as possible. Wish I would have kept it now. Wasn't expecting to need it so soon. But it's okay. This cap will probably leak. Let's see. Seems to be holding. That's real good. That means I can tip it all different ways and not have to buy more of this to fill up the whole tank. I can just set it at this angle, then I can flip it upside down, let it sit like that for another 24 hours, 12 hours, whatever. I'll just every hour I'll just rotate this a little bit, prop it up on something to turn it at different angles to make sure the anti-rust gets everywhere, and we'll come back to that. Let's go see about those carburetors. These are 4 single carburetors, but they're all attached so they'll work in unison with each other. That's a brand called Kalen. I know the ones on the Suzuki were Makuni, and these are not, but they work under the same basic principle. I didn't realize how late in the day it was getting, and I still need to go pick up my dog from the border where he's been all weekend. I know he's ready to get home, and I need to go grocery shopping too, so I gotta call it a day. And plus it'd be best to start pulling these out where I'll have enough time to work on them all day. I don't really want to get them pulled out and then have to stop with parts laying everywhere. So we'll pick up first thing in the morning with this project. By then the gas tank should be looking good, and maybe by tomorrow evening this bike will be running. That would be cool. Well, take care. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you want to make sure you don't miss any of this wonderful bike. And you all have a great night. Take care. Bye-bye.